What's good, Washington fans? Happy Monday. Let's get this week started off right, man. I got to pour one out for my man Steven Sims. Ron Rivera, the Washington football team, has released Steve Sims, man. Super talented, man. I said it in my recap video that Steven Sims was done. I think we all knew that after the drop in the Bengals game where Kyle Allen threw what would have been a 35-yard pass if Steve Sims could have caught it, if he could have brought it in. But just his reputation, all the drops, muff punts, fumbles. The writing was on the wall, man. His time was up after that. I knew, Ron Rivera cutting Calvin Harmon last week, and then Steve Sims dropping the football. I was like, yeah, this man is going to be done. I didn't think he was going to make it to Monday. I thought he was going to be cut yesterday, but Ron waited until this morning to release Steven Sims. But he's super talented, man. I mean, he led the league in muff punts last year, and he just killed us. He killed us last year. But his 2019 year was a darn good year. The last 4 or 5 games of the season, this man went bonkers. Like, he played really well. I got to give him his credit. He played really well. The kickoff return against the Lions for a touchdown, and then even that Patriots game where we got blown out, that reverse play for a touchdown. Like, the man is shifty and talented and has really good speed. I mean, he's very shifty and talented. Is a really good route runner as well. I mean, I got a feeling he's going to get picked up. I think the Eagles or the Giants are teams that probably would look at picking him up just because, of course, they want to get some insight and some intel on the Washington football team. But, NFC East teams are always picking up guys who are waived and released all the time. We do the same thing. Wendell Smallwood, we just picked up Caleb Wilson. Teams do it all the time. The Eagles got Ryan Kerrigan now. Teams do it all the time. So I think that's where he's going to end up. But Stevenson was very talented. I mean, the Giants game in 2019 had a nice touchdown catch. The Eagles game when Dwayne Haskins, that was probably his best 2 games as a Washington football team quarterback. Him and Steve Sims had a really good connection. Like, they were playing well. I'm not gonna lie. Steve Sims was balling in 2019, but 2020 he looked bad. He dropped the pass every time, almost every time, and was just not reliable at all. And it was terrible as a punt returner, a kick returner. The playoff game, he did have a good catch. I'll give him credit for that. But the guy's talented. You look at the other receivers on the roster right now. They really like AGG because they drafted him. Man, that's why I knew AGG was going to make this raw. It's not decided yet, but AGG had a solid game against the Bengals. He looked pretty good, so he's going to make the roster. So the guys that are making the roster now is, of course, Terry, Curtis, Diami, Humphreys, Cam Sims is the 5th guy, and then I think the 6th guy will be AGG. DeAndre Carter, Dax Milne. I think those guys, we'll see what happens with those guys. Isaiah Wright, of course, is not going to make the roster. But if Jared Patterson can show that he can be a punt returner, then I think Dax Milne will go to the practice squad. And then DeAndre Carter, he might not make it if Jared Patterson can show that he can kick return, not only kick return, but also punt return. And that's what DeAndre Carter's calling is for punt return, because he hasn't even caught it. He caught 1 pass for -1 yards. So that's the only way I can see DeAndre Carter making the roster. So that's how the wide receiver room is shaking up now, in my opinion. That's how I see it now after the releasing of Steve Sims. But Steve Sims, like I said, he had his good moments, man. He had the little dance that he used to do after scoring touchdowns, and people were hyping him up on social media, saying that his potential to be a top-notch wide receiver, comparing him to Antonio Brown and whatnot. People were getting carried away after that 2019 year. He was supposed to be a breakout player in 2020, and it was time. That drop, it was time. It was time to move on for sure. I don't disagree with Ron making this move. I don't think anybody else really disagrees. If you're in the comment section, you can definitely voice your opinion. If you think Steve Sims should still be on this roster, but it is what it is. And I wish him the best. I think he's super talented. You look at that 2019 year. I mean, he had 34 catches for 310 yards. Nothing to write home about, but he only played in like 3 or 4 or 5 games. And for him to do that was pretty solid. 4 touchdowns was pretty solid, and a rushing touchdown was pretty solid in 2019. So I'll give him his credit for that. And then I remember the preseason game where he beat out Steve Sims against the Ravens in that last game and played really well to make the roster, being undrafted. So I think that's it. I mean, yeah, that's it for him. But yeah, I think he'll definitely get picked up by another team for sure. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Steven Sims released, and then David Sharp was activated. There's Ron Rivera. He has until tomorrow at 4 o'clock to bring the roster down from 85 guys to 80 guys. So we'll see who else gets cut. If I had to predict, the next 5 guys to be released, maybe the guy Steinmeitz, number 66, the offensive lineman. He had a false start And then who else will probably be released? I would say Troy Apke, but I don't think he's going to be released. I gotta look at the list and think of some guys that I think are going to be released to predict. But I'm going to say number 66, Steinmeitz. I think that guy gets released. But I can't think of, if you guys think about anybody else, please put in the comment. All right, you guys, hail to the football team. Peace.